Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, today we're looking at verses 8 and 9. This is going to conclude Psalm 99. Yesterday we saw, the writer in the second half introduces a new theme, and that is Moses, Aaron, and Samuel, and they're the ones that called upon him. That's what we have there. And then he sort of continues that theme here. Actually, more than sort of, he does continue that theme here in verse 8. And we're gonna plow through this a little bit. It's really wonderful. Some beautiful fruit here we need to know. And of course, then we end with our concluding statement. We had it in verse 5. We have it now here in verse 9. So let me read for us today verses 8 and 9. Thou answeredst them, O Lord our God. Thou wast a God that forgave them. Though thou tookest vengeance on their inventions. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy hill, for the Lord our God is holy. All right, so there's a lot here, isn't there? You just read through the verses 8 and 9, and boy, so much. Now you'll notice it says, you answered them. Okay, now he's already said that, hasn't he? He said that in verse 6. They called upon you, Moses and Aaron and Samuel, among them that call upon his name, and they called upon the Lord, and he answered them. Now, he's talking to his reader there in 6. Now he speaks to the Lord in 8. You answered them, O Lord our God. So he says it twice. Once to us, the reader, once to the Lord in a manner of praise. You answered them. So you have it twice. So it's that important that God answers those who call upon him. And it's a matter of praise. It's a matter to use in exalting the Lord and worshiping before him. Because remember, that's what we're in here. We're in these worship psalms. So the fact that God answers is a matter of praise for every single one of us. And ladies and gentlemen, it's also a call to something very important, to a duty that we have to call upon him. It's not just a privilege, it is a duty. It is a part, I would say it's the heart of our Christian labor. Prayer is the heart of our Christian labor. You answered them, O Lord our God. You were a God that forgave them. Well, of course. Why is it? Because we'll go back up to verse 1. Where is he? He sits between the cherubim. He's the one on the mercy seat. So when you go before him, just like the high priest, like Aaron did, the blood's already been placed there, so all you have to do is make your request, confess your sin, and he will forgive you of your sin and cleanse you from all unrighteousness. Yeah, that's how immediate it is. That's how wonderful this calling upon the Lord can be. This Christian duty that we have. God forgave them, though you took vengeance on their inventions. What inventions are we talking about here? Vengeance of their inventions. Say that 5 times fast. Well, we're thinking of Aaron. I believe we're thinking of Aaron. Remember Aaron when he made the golden calf? Moses was up on the mountain. He took too long. The people got antsy. And they said, make us a God to go before us. Even though they had heard the voice of God. Even though that had happened. Yet they said, make a God to go before us. A hard-hearted bunch. And what did Aaron do? He said, okay, give me all your earrings. He, melted the gold down. And the Bible says, out came this calf. Or maybe that's how Aaron put it. Out came the calf. And that's Aaron's invention. That will always be remembered as a thing that he did. And so even though they did that, even though Aaron did that, yet God forgave him. See, it doesn't matter how deep or dark your sin is, he will forgive you. There is no sin that's too dark for God to forgive. Exalt the Lord our God. Why? Because he forgives sin. Why? Because he sits on the mercy seat. Because he answers prayer. Because he is the one that establishes equity. He executes judgment and righteousness. Let's exalt the Lord together. Worship at his holy hill. Now you'll notice that in verse 5 it says, worship at his footstool. That is, thinking of that ark. Here, his holy hill is Zion. Remember verse 2, the Lord is great in Zion. Yeah, that is that heavenly Zion. Worship at his holy hill. Come into his presence. For the Lord our God is holy. Now, in 5 it just said, for he is holy. We understood the antecedent to that. Here, he says, he gives it the whole ball of wax. The Lord our God is holy. A nice conclusion and an echo of verse 1. The Lord reigns, let the people tremble. I hope you'll join me again next time as we look at Psalm 100 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.